You are listening to the AHO Radio Network with Outlier host John Krotec. My name is Jason Freebird Freeman, former professional boxer and mixed martial artist, cage fighter. On this special series, John and I will be discussing 4 boxing punches that helped shape my life. The jab, the cross, the hook, and the uppercut. If used effectively, these 4 boxing punches can shape your own life. Oh, by the way, my grandfather was Charles Manson, perhaps the most notorious cult figure in American history. I'll leave it at that. But thank you for listening to my story and supporting AHO Radio.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the AHO Radio special series of episodes of Jason Freebird Freeman, the grandson of Charles Manson, probably the most notorious cult figure in all of U.S. history. God, I keep disappearing. Wow. See, every time you do that with your eyes, my head disappears. There's something up. No, but in reality.
As soon as I laugh, you come right back.
I know, it's crazy. But what we're talking about with these special episodes of AHO Radio, besides being authentic conversations, is Jason's personal story and journey of overcoming the legacy of his granddad's, not even his granddad, the family legacy of repeated generations of trauma, and him finally realizing and reaching down and doing what he had to do to turn his life around. And he does it with a series of punches. We've been through the jab, right, Jason, which is, deciding to fight.
Yes.
We've been through the cross, which is dealing with your past.
Yep.
And then the
dealing
hook.
with your past.
The hook. We're getting kind of, and then the hook is
hitting your target.
And now we're at a place in his program with the hook, or actually the uppercut, which is to surround yourself with the right people, know who is in your corner. And we're going to get into this because that's so very important. How often in our lives have you tried to get somewhere and the people that you surround yourself with are the ones that actually you think they keep dragging you down. But in essence, and we're probably going to get into this, those decisions to have those people in your corner are the decisions you make. And so once Jason had reached out to his grandfather, who was in prison, he was concerned, and we'll let him tell you, but he was concerned about how his church members would take it, the media. He was involved in a lot of interviews and a lot of things going on with the court case coming up. And, a really obsessed person who was dealing with memorabilia and things that surrounded his grandfather. And, give us the story, Jason, on the uppercut, the backstory, and tell us from the Manson, the human, the heart side of it.
Well,
all that going on,
Yeah. It was really getting to know who's in my grandfather's corner, who was in my grandfather's corner, if they're real, who's fake, who's not. I think the ones that did reach out to me are loyal friends of my grandfather's that may not have seen things my way or through my eyes, but through their own eyes. But for me to come to know who's in my corner, it was hard. It was hard for me to even speak up when he passed. But I felt an obligation, seeing that I was in his life for the past 7 years before he passed, to follow through with what every grandson should do, and that's to stick beside your elder, stick beside your grandparents, no matter what happened in the past. And by doing the right thing, I almost felt like I was going to be rejected, and which I probably am in a lot of households. But for me, it's really important to know who's in my corner and know who's got my back. And I was worried about our church, our local church, because I help out in ministry and leadership, and I've come a long way. And so I'm thinking my church has my back. Our church is in my corner. The people that I've surrounded myself with in our community have my back.
And did they?
I didn't feel at the time I was in California, I didn't feel that anybody should have my back. I almost felt alone. It was like, this is something I've got to do. I got to take care of it. So when I reached out, to Joe, to the church, and explained to him, because it was really on my heart, it was like attacking me, just that the church would let me go from the things that I've been involved with. So I made a phone call. It was the day before my grandfather's funeral, and reached out to Joe and explained a couple things. And he said, Jason, is that you? Is that you? Are you Charles Manson? I said, no. He's like, well, you do what you have to do while you're there and let it be what it is. Come on back home.
See, and we talked about that, and that's great advice that they gave you. We talked about agendas, and, everybody's got an agenda, don't they? Don't you think that's the case? And
yeah.
And sometimes, those agendas don't really necessarily align and support what we're all about. And that can be a tough road to hoe, trying to figure out who really is in your corner. And you say that you don't ride people's coattails, and I can respect that, and I get that. But many times we still have to be very alert. One of my buddies used to say, stay alert, stay alive. Mm-hmm. And not that everything in life is a life and death situation, but I think that what you're pointing out is how important it is to have those proper people. It's a confidence builder, but it also makes it a little bit easier to navigate those hardships when they come.
Yeah, because you have the tools in front of you. You have the right people in your corner to reach out to. You don't have to reach out to each one with the same issue. You don't have to, because there's someone in your corner that can help you deal with whatever it is that you're going through, because the people that you build around you are there to lift you up as you're there to lift them up and be encouraging.
Yeah. So would you think that was kind of an epiphany for you when they told you that, Jason? Do what you got to do. You're not Charles Manson, and then just come back and be who you are.
Yeah.
Was that an epiphany? How did you feel when he said that?
I just felt like a weight was lifted off my chest. I didn't know what to think. Just because I had the entertainment company, I had my grandfather's friends. I had my grandfather's people that say they're friends and wanted to be friends. I had people trying to give me money. I had people trying to take money from me. I had all these things, all this noise and all this racket. But like, what was really important was that when I come home, I'm not shunned by my church. I don't care if it's society, the people in the world. It don't matter. But my family of believers, the ones that I work with, just keep it real with me is all I ask.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point that you make there. And what's interesting about that too, from the other side, if you're in somebody's corner, if you're one of the corner men or corner ladies, and somebody's relying on you to be there for them, we obviously can't tell people how to act, but it's important for you to be as supportive and compassionate as well. And what a great epiphany moment, because you realize that there were people out there that were truly concerned.
Yeah.
For who you were and what you were trying to do.
Yeah. Especially with that. You throw that out in someone's lap.
Yeah.
I've seen the door shut in my face many times.
Wow. So, tell us about we don't have to go into detail, but, people that have been obsessed with your grandfather and the things that, the challenges and the conflicts that you've had with that. How are you dealing with those things? And we know they don't necessarily go away, but, and you don't feed it, but how are you dealing with it?
Yeah, the way I deal with it is I don't there's your cornerman, or really, here's your family.
Yeah.
Outside of your family is your cornerman, are your people that are truly there for you.
Yeah, yeah.
That are truly there, that you've already instilled trust, and I like to challenge people. I like to see if they're real.
Yeah. So
I'll challenge them, and then the ones too that have a different agenda seem to fade away anyway. So you don't let them in to that outer realm of your family. So if they can't get into there and they're not willing to pursue where I'm going in my life, I'm not going to follow you in your life.
Yeah.
But I know where I'm going.
Yeah, that's awesome because, loyalty is huge in the fight game. And not just in the fight game. It's also extremely important in the family game and in the business game and in the sport game. And, any of the games, if you want to call them games, which are serious games, but any of the relationships we have in life, it is damned important to have the right people because they can set you down the primrose path pretty quick.
Yes.
One thing too that I've come to learn, and this is just, to support what Jason's saying, is I call it the bling bling syndrome. Well, you putting a spell on me again. I call it the bling bling syndrome.
She's gone.
Where people get really excited, they're all over it, they're going to be there for you, and oh yeah, we got you, and we got your back, and we're never going to let you fall. And then the minute the shininess stops,
every time you turn your head,
these people are gone. There you go. So I think we're on track now. So, all kidding aside, it is important, and especially the human side of thing. And, those are those small things in life because we have these preconceived notions that it's going to be the way that it is. And sometimes a surprise like that can be all it takes to get you back focused again.
just a
on
little
track.
encouragement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That lifted my spirits from being in a dark and gloomy place.
So let me ask you this. You ever felt alone?
Often.
What do you do when you feel alone?
When you feel alone, I like to find out why I feel alone. Because I'm not ever alone. So if it's something from my past that's haunting up on me, I just like to see what it is.
Yeah.
Find it. But I ask God to help me find the way why I feel like I do. And then it reveals itself. And then at that point is when you can let go again. Because it's easy to walk through life picking up old stuff that you see, hey, I ain't seen this for a while. Well, that's something that you probably shouldn't open up. But you haven't seen it for so long, you didn't realize it was a trigger.
Oh, yeah. And those triggers, we know what a trigger does when it's pulled.
Yeah.
So,
Action.
Yeah. So the transformation that you had for this punch, finding out who's in your corner and, how did that transform your mind into knowing that there are decent people out there willing to support what you're up to, which means really any of us?
Yeah. Well, I know now I'm not alone. I'm far from alone. I'll never be alone because of all the people that I've met through a few different programs that I'm involved with now in church and outside of church, fellowship. The power of three is huge. When you get three men together, you can tackle a lot of different things than you can when you're by yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And so there you have it, the uppercut, the punch that can really just put all the gravy on the bread. You hit a good uppercut, you have a good corner person, you have a good team behind you, you can overcome many battles. And, with what you're doing with the frontline, warrior community outreach, which I think is pretty damn significant, that you've been able to take these punches and put them into your own program and help people through their own obstacles and challenges and pitfalls that they may come across. I think that's important, So, what is your plan from a human side of things for the outreach? What's up with that?
I'll share what the outreach consists of right now. It is, for one, a youth program that helps to develop life skills, life understanding, life situations for the young men and for the young men around the world. But for me right now, it's right in my area. If there's a need, fill it. And it's really about helping young men grow up to be young men.
Yeah.
Know how to respect other people. Learn how to respect your parents, even if they're not walking the right walk. You should still respect them to a point, and
Absolutely.
not saying that you have to be a tread mat, but catching people at the right times in life, at the right moments, you can make a difference. You can make a difference in a young kid. You can make a difference in a young man that's on his way into jail, on his way out. You can catch people at the right time to make that impact in their lives. And trust me, God puts me in front of so many people. There's times I don't even get to my job site. It just doesn't happen. He's putting people in front of our lives. All the opportunities are right in front of us as we seek them. If we don't seek them, we'll never see God move. Because you get people, I never seen God move. Well, I personally see God move every day.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, great points. And sometimes it takes a while to determine who those people are, because a lot of times if your heart's open, and I know yours is, because I know exactly what you're talking about when it comes to your ministry. When your heart's open like that, there are people out there that will take advantage of that.
Itching, waiting for you.
Yeah, waiting, and it's a trap, and it's why it's important to have the right corner people, because sometimes they can even hold those people off. And thanks for sharing that. That's the human side of Jason Freeman and his hook.
Uppercut, baby.
No, that's right. The uppercut. You got my head's bobbing. He keeps making me disappear.
Might start slipping.
That's right. No, but the uppercut. And let's not lose sight of that. It's important who's in your corner. It's important that you know it. And it means a great deal. So there you have Jason Freebird Freeman. This is our 7th episode of the AHO Radio Network program. And we're looking forward to the final installment and some encouragement here to talk about how Jason, the fighter, was able to use the uppercut to find the right people.
Hey guys, I want you to log on to decidetofight.com and join us on this journey. Thank you.
Yeah, we're not done yet. We're just starting. Thanks, Jason.
You're welcome. Thank you for listening to my Decide to Fight story. My name is Jason Freebird Freeman, the grandson of Charles Manson. I hope you join John and myself for another episode of Decide to Fight on AHO Radio, the place where we engage in real conversations without all the hype.